Peace, everybody. Now, look, this video I'm making about how it doesn't matter what perspective you take, it doesn't matter what path you take, it doesn't matter what habits, what thought forms you develop. You always have to do what you feel is best for you at any particular given time in this dimension. For example, let me use myself for an example. I know that the way my mind works, what helps me is working with stones, crystals. This is a garnet crystal, which deals with the root chakra and stability, and anything that deals with that red, I don't want to say low, but very slow vibrating energy and things of that nature. And that's just basically an idea of a concept that works for me and a philosophy that works for me personally, and a form of mental alchemy that works personally for me, because everybody has their own form of mental alchemy. With that being said, it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter what form of thought that you take. A diet. Let me use myself for example again. I've been changing my diet in almost a week. It will be a week that I haven't had consumed any flesh of any sort, and that's just something that I'm trying to sustain for a good part of my life, because everything is energy, and when you consume any substance, regardless if it was living and got killed, or a plant, because plants are living too, and plants give you certain kinds of information that's different from a dead carcass. The information you'll get from a dead carcass is more than likely the state of being that that animal was in by the time it was slaughtered or killed, which 9 times out of 10, or 10 times out of 10 for that matter, is in a depressed state of being. So with eating a more plant-based diet, and like Dolo said, and like everybody else who is basically aware of balance, will know that everything has to be done in moderation. So for me personally, even if I am eating a plant-based diet, I do have to keep it moderate, and I can't be a drill sergeant, for lack of a better analogy, for my diet. I can't be a drill sergeant or a strict enforcer of my diet. Now, with that being said, if eating meat works for you, if eating meat makes you comfortable, and you could live your whole life eating meat, not even having to worry about a plant-based diet, then that's what works for you personally. That's a form of mental alchemy. You've made it up in your mind to where no matter what you eat, or no matter what kind of meat you eat, you'll always be in a level of stability. I don't know if any of this is really making sense, but I'm trying to bring down this level of thinking and this energy to a more grounded point of view as best as I can. So, yeah, any way of thinking could work for somebody if it resonates with them. That's just like metaphysics, astrology, numerology, alternative forms of history. There's this book that I just got from the library called, what the fuck is the name of it? I don't have the book in front of me right now. House of Wisdom. It's called House of Wisdom, and yeah, stuff like that. It's about a book that basically discusses in detail the emergence of the Renaissance. Well, not necessarily the emergence of the Renaissance, but essentially how Arabic science, or what will be quoted as Arabic science, emerged and essentially brought Europe out of the Dark Ages. And that's a whole nother topic for another time, and we won't really get into that for the time being. But I digress heavily. But yeah, basically the point I'm trying to drive home with this video is that regardless of what philosophy you may have, like I was saying for myself, I use metaphysics. I use metaphysics, numerology, astrology, psychology, and all these sciences. Whatever science, if you're a mathematician, I'm not personally that great at math, but if you're a mathematician and that's what gets you by in life, and if being a mathematician is what gives you satisfaction and gold and personal gold for your spirit, remember what I was talking about digging for gold in your mind? If mathematics fulfills that accomplishment of digging for gold, then that's beautiful. Same for any science, any form of life. If you want to spend the rest of your life programming, being an electrician, developing video games, or some shit, something along those lines, just thinking of something basic and practical as an example. You may be an architect, you may be a builder, a carpenter. That may be your peace. And that's just the point. Whatever brings you peace personally, mentally, spiritually, and whatever resonates with your personal vibration, that's what will bring you peace. Everything I mentioned for myself, as far as metaphysics, a more electrical plant-based diet for the most part. Other things I didn't mention as far as meditation, and meditation, it has so many layers. It's not just sitting down in a Indian cross-legged position with your eyes closed and breathing, playing music, playing guitar, drums, reading could be a form of meditation. Making YouTube videos is a form of meditation. Making YouTube videos is a beautiful outlet of expression for me personally. And it being a new outlet of expression, it's something that needs time and takes time to develop. But as I was saying about everybody having something that works for them, whatever works for you, this works for me personally, because not only am I able to share my perspective, my own unique perspective on this information that is available, it gives me... Sorry, I digress. It's really late at night. Been up all day. But anyway, I conclude this video by saying this. Drive the point home. Whatever works for you, do it. Don't matter what anybody else tells you otherwise. Even for me. For example, if you use me. If you're not on a plant-based diet, and I am, which I really am, and I force my ideology, which is the same concept of someone forcing their religion or their way of thinking down your throat, and if that doesn't resonate with you, then don't take my shit, lack of a better terminology. So y'all have a good night, and I hope y'all take care.